Third hero, Trung Hun Dao. He's the one whose statue is right there by the river. And by the way, whenever you go in Vietnam, every city's got a Trung Hun Dao statue and a Trung Hun Dao street. And every place there in Vietnam has a street named after the Trung sisters, Lin Chai, another hero we're going to be taking up in a minute. So their streets and their cities are really history, right there in front of you. So the kids really learn their history. Let's take Trung Hun Dao. One of the greatest fighting groups in the world has been the Mongols. Right? And in the years, in the 1200s, 1100s, the Mongols spread all over from their little place there in Mongolia, spread out. And they went west all the way to the gates of Vienna. And they went east all the way to Japan. And they went south all the way down into Vietnam. Well, there's only one place that was able to hold out against them. Japan, of course, they defeated them there with the ships, with great wind. There's only one place militarily, though, that was able to defeat them. There were 3 invasions by the Mongols, and the Vietnamese beat all 3 back. And who was their general? Trung Hun Dao. Now, Trung Hun Dao, the first one he had was 1258. What was happening in 1258? The what? Right. The Mongols came down and took care of Baghdad, one of the greatest cities in the world at that time, with libraries, armies, etc. So for the Vietnamese to stand out against the Mongols was quite a feat. There were 3 invasions. The first one, the Vietnamese beat back. The second one, that was 1258. The second one came in 1285. Kublai Khan now is getting a little angry. He didn't like the first one that had happened and sent more troops this time. And so they came down, and there were battles, naval battles, and there were land battles. One thing in the naval battles, the Vietnamese are good at the Navy. They cut off the Chinese supplies. And so the Chinese eventually had to retreat. Now Kublai Khan is really burned. And he figures this time we're going to do it. So it is said that he got 500,000 troops together. I mean, that would fill the Progressive Stadium part of it, right? So he got all these troops together and the Navy, and they went down to, again, try to conquer Vietnam. Here's his third invasion, 500,000. Trung Hun Dao is smart. He knows that he can't directly defeat 500,000, so they go to guerrilla warfare. And he constantly, and his troops, they're constantly harassing the Chinese. Well, the Chinese have this big fleet. So they have their fleet coming down in Vietnam, and they have their land forces, cavalry, trying to take all of Vietnam. The Navy thought, we can easily defeat the Vietnamese. And so they came to what's called the Bac Dang River. The Bac Dang River, it has low tide, when it's almost like just the sand and dirt, and then high tide, when it's, all the water. So what did Trung Hun Dao do? He figured, we got to stop those Chinese ships. And so what he did was, in the low tide, planted these huge stakes with steel tips. And they got them all planted down there in the riverbed. Then the tide comes in, rises up, the Chinese look and say, oh, it's okay, we can go in there. And the Chinese ships went in, there were 400 of them. They go in, the tide goes down, and the ships now are on the prongs there of the iron tips. And of course the ships were all sunk, captured, etc. So now the Chinese figure that they better get out of there. It's no longer good for them there, and the Mongols have been defeated 3 times. Now, Trung Hun Dao, he's also a very smart man, and he's very loyal. And he worries that some of his own troops may want him to take over and get rid of the emperor. So he asks them, do you think we should take the capital now that we've won all these battles? And here's what one of his followers said. You may gain not only brief riches and luxury, but also you'll gain a bad reputation for eternity. My lord, have you not acquired enough riches? We would rather die as your lowly servants than live as unfaithful, high-ranked officials. Boy, that's something maybe we need in Washington, right? So, Trung Hun Dao, he lives to be like 70 years old, and he said, by the way, the only thing in life I really wanted to be was a poet. And that's because poetry is so strong in the Vietnamese soul. He wanted to be a poet, just like all Irish. They want to be poets. So poor Tran he spent his last years reading books, writing, and he's written some of the greatest military books ever written. And he preached a philosophy that is based on some ideas that we should follow. In any way, an army needs to be united, having only one heart, like a father and a son's in a family. The people should be treated with humanity so that we can guarantee deep roots and a durable base for our military. So that was Tran. Not a bad idea either. Tran, he dies, and he's always a hero. And of course, they got all these statues to him, and that's his life.